Young.
Yeah. Welcome to paraglidingtalk.com. I'm your host, Robert Michaels. Glad you are here. We have a great show lined up for you tonight. You found the best place to come on the interwebs for paragliding talk on Thursday nights. No better place to be. Cozy up next to the fire. Put some extra socks on because it's frigid in most of the country. Not here in Southern California, though. So we're going to have a great show. We're going to have some fun. We'll talk a little bit about the weather, even though we're not allowed to. Gringo just landed like 2 seconds ago. He did get to fly. Craig Couch is in moderation, and Bob Garber is also in moderation. Matt Minyard is here with us. Well, somebody that looks like him, kind of. This show is brought to you by PBG Smoke. If you're interested in getting some stuff for your paramotor, you want to get some smoke in there. They've got all kinds of cool stuff for your paramotoring and free flight. But most importantly, what I want to mention is that Ryan Roberts is giving away 2 Simonini motors. I believe it's a 185, 125, and a 2. Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. I can't remember. I wrote it down, so just in case I forgot. It's a Simonini 140 and a Simonini 250. So just the motor, not a frame, obviously. But how do you get involved in that? How do you get your name on the list? Well, if you pre-order their new headset on the website, go check that out. As soon as it's called the Unity. It's the PPG Unity headset. If you pre-order that, and they're going to be coming out, I got to demo them. Video coming soon. Actually, I have them in my living room right now. They are amazing. You're really going to be impressed with these. But anyways, go check out the website, pbgsmoke.com. We also have a new sponsor tonight. I'm really excited about this. It's a local sponsor. You always want to get local sponsors. And so if you're in the San Diego area, American Allied Drains and Plumbing, they are a sponsor of the show. If you need anything that has to do with plumbing and you mention Paragliding Talk, you will get a 10% discount on their services. They are awesome. They're trustworthy, and you're going to really like their crew. The number is 844-777-9055. And there's a link in the description if you want to get a hold of those. So if you're in San Diego, they go pretty far north. I think they might creep up into even bottom Orange County, maybe. But call them and ask them, talk to them, and let them know that paraglidingtalk.com sent them. I do also want to mention another sponsor, paramotoprops.com. They are a great dealer for paramotor props. They have a nice, clean website. You can order things quickly, and it's pretty awesome. They're a great group, and it's actually the same guys from One Up Paragliding, One Up Adventures. You'll really like dealing with Travis Burns, and he's got it on lock. So you want a really good deal on some props? Go check out their website, paramotoprops.com. Thank you, by the way, for everyone who's been supporting the show, and especially those who have been giving the Paramotor Fund and just being super cool about getting me a motor. I have a motor now, and I'm super stoked. If you want to check out that video, I just dropped it. Excuse me, last Saturday or last Sunday, and you get to see the adventure. I'm sure most of you have already seen it. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. Matt Minyard, he flew today, and he's actually staying with us, but he's running late, and so I'm not sure if he's going to make it for the beginning of the show, but we have a replacement. This is Tabin, and he's only flown, he's got about 4 minutes of flight, and actually it's probably less than that. We'll just say how much flight time you got. We'll say
3 minutes.
30 seconds.
I said 3 minutes.
Oh, 3 minutes.
I'm trying to
no, I don't think
look
you
good
flew
over
that long.
here.
I don't think you made it there. I think you maybe had, we'll say 30 seconds. That's being generous. I got it on video.
Come on, Robert, let him have it.
That's true. All right. 30 seconds.
I'm just kidding. We're not going to interview Tabin, but actually Tabin did all the honors of setting up the booth there in our living room. So I appreciate that. Thank you, son, for doing that. And please stay and hang out with us, because we desperately need teenagers with really good computer skills like yourself.
You're welcome. And okay.
It's great to have awesome kids. So this is episode 158. I want to talk about a few things. Oh, do you have a question, Tim?
No.
Okay, good.
I think you should ask. I think you should ask a child of that has a father that flies. There's a lot of pilots on here.
Yeah.
Have kids. So what do the kids think about their parents or their father or mother, somebody flying?
Okay. Yeah. What do you say, Tabin?
I say it's awesome. Just try not to kill yourself.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Make sure you have a will if you do.
If you do, make sure that you're in the will.
Yes.
That's funny. I'm going to share a little bit. Oh, let me make sure I'm doing this right. If you're going to screen share, you have to do it right. You have to optimize the share. Otherwise you're a rookie. Okay, there we go. Share. And you guys should be able to see my screen. Huh? Long awaited. You guys seeing a paramotor? Okay. So I just want to share this because I wanted to talk about something that I learned.
See your desktop.
Oh, you see my desktop. Sorry. Let's try this one more time. Stop share. Share again. Oh, yeah, that's funny. It jumped right to the other page. There we go. So by the way, we tricked Tony Boyer into coming to fly. And this is him coming in for a landing here. Let me just rewind it real quick. Super fun. Oh, there's the camp. You don't need to see all this, but I want to share this launch that I did, and it was a little bit on the edge. I was super frustrated, and yes, JP Tulo, I'm sharing this because you said, show me the video. I was really having a hard time keeping my brand new engine running. And so anyways, I had botched like 8 launches, and that was 8 too many. So I'll show you what I learned from this. And Anthony Peregringo came and yelled at me right afterwards. First thing, if you notice, I'm leaning way too far forward, and there's no reason to do that. Just let the motor push you along. And my defense, this is an 18-meter free ride, and there's not much wind, so I'm having to run it out a little bit more than you normally would, I guess. My regular wing, I flew it this last week, and it's I think a 26-meter Delta 2 or the Alpina 2, and I was a no stepper. I just walked into the air. But anyways, I leaned a little bit too much, and then I jumped in too soon, and you could see how close I almost clipped my prop on the ground. I'll let it play like normal. And then I banked this turn. Now you got to keep in mind right here, I'm super sweaty. I'm frustrated. I don't know how many times I failed my launches. And this time I felt like I don't care what happens. And I see all these guys in front of me. I'm like, whatever, I'm going to go the other direction. And I just whip a right-hand turn. Go ahead, Gringo.
I wanted you to kind of pause it there as you flew. You made that hard right turn. Now you're definitely going downwind. And if everybody can see the wind sock, so we had a probably 8-mile-an-hour headwind, going in, and he's turning around, hauling butt. And you look at the wind sock. So
pretty low.
It was a little hard. I know you're used to flying, but now you got a 70-pound contraption on your back, and that adds some effect.
And something that we're going to talk about a little bit in depth at some point is torque compensation. And so this unit naturally wanted to give me a little bit of torque to the right, not much. I'm telling you, this motor is a modern marvel. It's an incredible machine. Parajet on a Maverick frame with the Moster 185. Moster 185 on a Maverick, just incredible setup. I love it. Not much torque, not much stuff to worry about. But anyways, that was something that I pondered over the weekend. And little frustrated at that point. I should have just backed up, stopped for a second and said, "Hey, bro, you got the whole weekend, just chill." And, but I was so, everybody was in the air and it had just smoothed out. And I knew that it was going to be good. And yeah, so the rest is history. Takeaways, don't be hasty. No need to be hasty. This is a leisure sport. No need to rush into stuff. Run into the sky. Jim CR120 said, run into the sky. Don't jump into the seat. That is exactly right. And my thing is right when I felt it pick me up, I'm like, that's all I need. But the fact of the matter is I ended up losing just a few inches of altitude, and that's all I had to work with. So if it was, let's say I lost 6 inches on that launch, that was 6 inches that I needed to have those 6 inches. That's not and that 6 inches could cost me a prop. And that was my prize winning prop. Watch how close to the ground. I mean, it was within 6 inches for sure. So, by the way, that is Tucker Gott's free ride. That was the one he won the Icarus race on. So I'm very privileged to fly.
Josh mentioned you kept coming to his trailer, taking wings out of his trailer.
That's right. Where is Josh? I'm going to send him an invite. He needs to join us tonight. So the whole trip was awesome. Start to finish. I was so excited the whole time. And yeah, just amazing. I mean, I don't know. This is a long awaited dream. It took some years to get my own stuff. And just, yeah, super humbling and I'm just absolutely grateful, man. And you guys made it happen. This is everything that went into that is from the show. Everything that went into getting that motor. And so sponsors, people giving in the super chats, all that stuff, Patreon supporters made the dream come true. You guys are awesome. I'm going to send an invite here to Josh. I know you're over there watching. I wasn't sure if he was going to be digging snow, or I know you guys are all frozen everywhere. Something I wanted to mention that if you would, maybe you're watching this after it was live, drop a comment where you found out. How did you find out about this show? Where in the world? I'm glad you're here. I'm just wondering, how in the world did you find out about this? Josh.
I don't know about the rest of you guys, but this is the premier paraglider, paramotor, and everything flying show on YouTube right now.
That's saying. Right. Yeah, it is the best show on Thursday night at 6 o'clock for paramotoring and free flight. I mean, it is really incredible to be a part of something like that. Resurgence PPG. Oh my gosh. Resurgence PPG. I can't believe that you said that. I'm not even going to read that. There is no lackluster. This is the beginning. This is episode 1. Oh, it's good. It's going to be good. The adventures. I mean, if you thought the adventures were good with free flying when I have to hike to be able to fly, whole different ball game now, folks. So exciting. So new motor, Salton Sea. Few takeaways. One, when you're braking in your motor, be patient. I was trying to kind of rush everything. I want to break it in now, and I want to fly it now. I want to fly it right now. I want to do it. And unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Unnecessary. Bowden is sure to wreck the show. The break-in is critical. You want to blow up your motor or screw it up or not have something that's going to last long. Just don't break it in right. So Moster, or I should say Bitarazi, has a certain thing that they want you to do a certain way. So I went through step by step and did it by the book textbook. And I can see where people just blow that off and go and fly. But Yeah. I do want to say that I still am very passionate about free flying. So I'm not going to just tune out free flying. If it's a good free flying day and I don't need to waste gas, don't have to waste gas and just go right up the hill and full send. But I'm pretty excited about doing some stuff, learning some stuff. I did have some questions for you guys about, and especially if you're a Parajet owner, whether it's a Atom 80 or a Moster 185, if you have a recommendation on a reserve, I want something that's going to fit and something that's going to work if I need it. And I'm considering, Matt Minyard has this little tiny guy that sits on his lap. It's like maybe so big. And he's got some Velcro on there. I think he can attach a phone or a variometer or something like that on there. So I kind of want to do maybe a double, especially if I'm going to be whipping around doing some macro stuff eventually.
Seems like the smaller it is, the more expensive it is. So
yeah,
I'm
that's a
not sure
fact.
it's over $1,000.
Yeah, but I'm interested in what your opinions are. So if you're watching live, let me know what you're thinking. And also, what are you using if you have the Parajet? I guess it's specific. I guess I have to say Maverick too, right? That's the one with the little pouch, a newer Maverick. I'm selling a harness that I got, that I purchased thinking that I was going to get just a frame by itself. So if you're, yeah, that's on eBay right now. eBay. Yeah. Talk to Bowden about a Beamer 3 and throw it in a side container. Justin. Thank you, Justin. Josh Bowden, where are you at?
He's in the chat. I saw him somewhere. He was calling me smart, which I very appreciate. But this is off topic. Everybody's asking where Sean is.
Sean is trapped in Arizona. Yeah, he can't get home because everywhere he wants to go is frozen. And only Josh Bowden and Corey were brave enough to take their motorhome and trailer and try to drive through 20, I think he said it was 22 or 23 below zero. And it was so cold that his diesel fuel froze and turned into gel. Oh, yeah, that is frigid. Can you imagine that? Your diesel fuel turns solid. Anyways,
get cold that up in the Northeast. That's unheard of even up here, unless you're in like on the Canadian border.
Yeah, that is frigid. Josh Bowden is with us.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello there.
You're excellent. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah. You got
Home.
Yeah. So Matt Minyard was supposed to be here, but he decided to go to Saboba, and he was 2 hours, and then he got stuck in the air. Probably couldn't get down, so he's late. That's fine. We'll have another Matt Minyard show. I'll change the name of this one to Robert Talks About Himself. Selfish. Let's talk a little bit about flying at fly-ins, shall we? There's some things that happen over the weekend that are less to be desired. One guy hit the dirt, and he's from Escondido. He's a local guy. Didn't get a chance to meet him, but Cliff, he passed away in an accident. So I talked to Phil Russman. We're likely going to talk about it later on. We're not going to do it tonight. But it was, it was a kind of a vexing thing, a kind of a frustration, and it sets a poor precedence, and it kind of makes, we're out there to have fun. Nobody's trying to do anything that's, we're not trying to break records. We're not trying to be anybody special. We're just going to have some fun, and mistakes in this sport can cost you big time. They can cost you big time. And this guy, he lost his life. And so especially being a local guy, it hit really close to home. And something I want to just reiterate to everyone is really be focused on your training. Be focused and be very never stop learning and never close your ears, especially to the wise, especially to those who have been in the sport and been around for a while. I took a flight just recently, and we flew from Little Black, and we flew midday. And the plan was to check the weather. We knew that it was going to be overcast, and the prediction did not show cloud breaking at all. It was going to be solid, and the lapse rate was decent. If the sun would come out, we would have had some great thermals. And it turns out that right when we showed up to the airfield, which was close to a free flying site, the guys who were free flying were actually getting up in thermals, and the sun came out, and they were getting up, and they got up to cloud base, and some of them went over the back, and they were having a great day. Meanwhile, we were there with the motors, and we launched into some up air, and it was crazy. And so as we got in right out of the gate, Matt Minyard launched, and he went right into a thermal, and very little use of gas to get to altitude. And then Gringo launched, and he, same thing, kind of boosted right up, didn't take no time at all to get to altitude that we wanted to go. And then we took off and went on the adventure. And so it wasn't crazy, it wasn't out of control. And I've had enough crazy flights to where my bump tolerance is a little bit higher than beginner. And I said, you know what? I'm not too worried about it. This feels like a good day. I'm going to send it. And we flew. I think we flew about 20 miles total. Took a while to get where we were going, and then we turned around and came back. But that night, I got a phone call from Russman, and he said, "Hey," he's like, "What's up, man?" And I said, "Oh, good." He goes, "Were you flying motors today?" And I said, "Yeah, we flew motors. Yeah, it was awesome." And he goes, "Hey, I just want to touch base with you about midday flying." And I'm like, "Oh gosh, I'm in trouble." And he means well, and why he was calling me is because he cares about me, I hope. And he was concerned about an idea that I have that could be a dangerous idea for later on. And that's what I want to just kind of mention tonight, is make sure that your ideas of what we're doing is in the right place. If you have a wrong mentality and you mix that with a bad day, because we got away with it. We flew midday, and many, many times you're going to see videos and you hear about guys that are launching, and even guys that will say, I go and launch on purpose and try to get in thermals and get up and go in thermals on a motor. Russman told me this. He goes, "I will launch in the most hairy, crazy updraft thermals that are taking you 2,000 feet per minute in the dead of summer, in the gnarliest desert mountain air in Southern California. It's Laguna, and that is like the place where it ODs the most. It's where the big flights get done here in San Diego, and they fly all the way to Palm Springs from there a lot." And he said, "I will launch right into that, and I have no problem with that." He goes, "But I will not fly midday on a paramotor." And I'm like, whoa, I had no idea. And I'm like, well, why? And so he started telling me about, there's a lot of disadvantages that you have. Crazy Uncle Bob just donated $5 to Super Chat. Thank you, Crazy Uncle Bob. Appreciate that. What ends up happening is you have a collapse, and these are a few things, and maybe you guys can chime in if you've got an opinion on this. You've got a lot of stuff to get tangled up in. Your glider's got more things like free flight. You don't have as many things to tangle up. Well, you got this motor, you got your swing arms, you got this prop in the back that's looking to grab lines, and you've got okay. So that aside, you got plenty of things to get hung up on. But then talk about the lack of feeling. I was explaining this to Bob just before the show, that In free flight, my hips tell me a lot of what's happening. I have a certain amount of feeling in my brakes, and then my hips, all of these points are giving me feedback, and it's a language, and my wing is speaking to me. And then when you switch to a motor, it's like I'm learning a new language. There's there's less control with my weight shift now, whereas I'm in my free flight harness. I feel like I'm fluent in the language of Winglish. Excuse me. And so the motor is a different language, and I can see where Phil's talking about. He says, I don't trust it. I don't want to deal with it. Mom just gave $20 to Super Chat. Thank you, Mom. Appreciate that. So there's some things to consider, right? Tom Kubat said his hips don't lie.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. Good comment. I think that might be the winning comment for the night. Write that down. Tom Kubat. So my thought is, if you're gonna send it, oh gosh, Cater Noman said it's because you're not flying a Dominator. That is hilarious. Yeah, so there's some compounding factors now that are working against you, right? When you go midday flying with a motor. So something I was explaining to my wife, and I don't think she's watching, but I was telling her, babe, getting a paramotor is actually safer than free flying. And I said, look, we choose when we're going to fly, and we always choose to fly when it's really smooth. You know what I mean? And so, I say that.
We're clear. He's not watching.
Yeah. Okay, good. We're safe. So, you think about this stuff, and we do get an opportunity to choose when we're going to fly for the most part. And the problem that I had is I can't always free flight with these guys, especially when they're breaking records. These local guys, none of them have jobs. They're a bunch of hippies. And they go and they fly and they break these records, and they're just killing it. And you follow the Avery track, and it's like, gosh, and I'm at work. And so Gringo, he was flying a lot when I was working, when he was unemployed. So I had to hire him to pump the brakes on that. So now he works with us. And so we're literally sharing an office now. Yeah. So now if I can't fly, you can't fly either. So I pulled him down. I literally grabbed his foot out of the air.
Which one of us two flew tonight?
That's
And
true.
we both had jobs.
You snuck that in there. It's fine.
If I had my 2 cents, not to anybody in particular, it's to everybody in the sport.
Yeah.
Never be too proud or too afraid to be shown up by someone else to abort. If you
to abort a launch or something? Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't feel it, don't do it.
So I want to
That's great advice.
branch off on that one, because that day that we Robert and I and Matt flew, when we got to the parking lot, it was overcast and stuff, and it was cold, and there wasn't a whole lot of wind. Right when we were starting to set up, the wind really kicked up, and we saw the guys on the paragliding hill. We thought they were all going to just take off and do sledders and land at the LZ, but the wind kind of kicked up. And another point was, it was only about an hour and a half, maybe earlier than we would normally take off. The last 2 hours of daylight, whatever, 3 o'clock, we kind of took off around 1:30, 2 o'clock or so. So, I figured it was a little bit at the tail end, but when I got up, it definitely was bumpy. And part of that definitely was, there was a little bit of peer pressure in a sense. I'm thinking, well, Matt's here, I'll just kind of follow him, and here comes Robert. Robert's up. All right. So we're still going out towards the beach. No one's turning around, going back to the LZ and landing. So I'm thinking we're okay. It wasn't really anything that I've experienced it was definitely bumpy, and it had me checking my brakes all the time. I definitely kept pressure on them, but I've been in other situations where the pucker value definitely goes up. This one was more like a 3 or 4, but it was definitely something to, keep aware of, and, should you or should you not fly? But anyway, we did. So
yeah,
no regrets.
And you know what? It was a very calm day. I will say that I checked the weather thoroughly before we left, and there was nothing that jumped out at me. I wasn't worried, and wasn't planning on going super high. Oh, hello, my wife. She just said hi in the chat. She
Hey,
accuses me of
Aaron,
not
we
ever
haven't heard
saying
the
hi.
cash register ring in a long time.
Hey, easy. Come on, man. She doesn't need to do that. So yeah, good old Russman. He chewed me up and spit me out. And you know what? He legitimately can, and I will let him speak into my life concerning paramotoring. So this is important, something that you should take to heart. Be careful who you let speak into your paramotoring and into your life. I say this in the church all the time. Be careful who you let speak in your life. This goes the same with paramotoring, man. You have to be careful who you're listening to and who you're letting influence you. If you're always just binge watching acro videos and you think that you're just going to go out and you're going to just full send, chances are you're going to get a rude awakening. But if you ease in and you are selective on who you're going to let influence you, there's some progression things that can happen. Do it the right way, right? Do it the right way. In the beginning, I didn't do it the right way. And I'm so grateful for local guys like Russman who said, hey, whoa, let's talk about this. Let's try to do something different. And so, yeah. Josh, glad you made it back, man.
Hey, yeah, it was rough.
I was, you shared a little bit about what happened, and I was telling everybody when you were logging in that your diesel fuel froze up in the tank.
2 hours from home. Yeah.
I didn't realize you were that close.
We were close. 2 hours from home and just started hiccup. And I'm like, oh no, that Denver fuel wasn't treated. So I got some fuel treatment, got another 60 miles, and it really crapped out on us. So we sat in Grand Island for 12 hours, getting it warmed up, and got home.
I should mention Nebraska PBG runs a school in Nebraska, and now is the time to get signed up. If you want to join his flying school, and if you have any questions for him, here's your chance.
Daylight savings is around the corner. That's when we start getting hot and heavy again.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the snow melts and the temperatures come above 1.
Right.
I mean, you can fly if it's 2, but 1's the cutoff.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Oh, yeah. We don't even know. We're complaining when we flew. What was it? We launched it, and I think it was 54 at altitude, and we were like, "This is the worst thing ever. My hands are frozen." I landed, and my hands were like stuck in the same position that they were on the throttle the whole time, and I was like, "I feel like I can't even open it." 54, and you guys are like 1. 0. We don't even know what that is. I woke up the other day and it was 32, and I had frost in the windshield. I'm like, oh gosh, what is this? And I literally just hit the windshield wipers, and it was like, whoosh, whoosh, and it just disappeared. I'm like, get out of here. What is that? 14?
I don't know where to go.
Is that? Please don't tell me that's a negative 14.
No, 14.
14. Oh,
that's
that's
good.
just as bad.
We're on the uphill. It's going to be 44 on Monday, 44 on Tuesday. I think we're in the clear.
Oh my word.
Yeah, it's rough. It's coldest it's been since the 80s.
Mike Cotter's in the chat.
Cotter
said, Josh, I'm heading to Justin's camper to let him know you're on. Get ready, Brody's coming. It must be an inside joke, but I'm glad. Mike, I'm glad you're there.
Yes.
Are they at a flying or something? Oh, 5th annual Moonshiners Paramotor flying dates are August 4th and 8th. All right. How many people are online right now? Is there a bunch of people? I mean, it's the whole country's frozen. 92 people?
90.
Wow. You guys are awesome. By the way, I do have to mention a couple other sponsors. John Adams from JK Custom Embroidery makes these wooden framed flags. I don't know if you can see that back there. Let me shift gears here. There we go. That's a custom flag that he made. You can go to his Facebook, and you can reach him on the Facebook. There's a link in the description. Get a hold of him. But JK Custom Carbs on Facebook. I want to make sure I said that. Yeah, JK Custom Carbs. So yeah, check that out. Also, if you want to get some training and you're in the Indiana area, I Fly Indiana Powered Paragliding. The website is iflyindiana.com. Kevin is the guy who runs that school. Get signed up with these guys if you want to get some training. Maybe you know somebody in that area and you want to send them the right way. I feel like we've kind of got a network of the whole country, everywhere except for San Diego, to get you some training. So I Fly Indiana Powered Paragliding. Also Lone Star Paramotor. If you're in the Lone Star state of Texas, you can reach out to Ron Turan. He's got a great place to teach, and he's got some good stuff to teach you. So go check out his website. That's lonestarparamotor.com. Yeah. So maybe we talk a little bit about the struggles. And before we leave, I want to discuss a little bit about some things I learned at the fly-in, in the Salton Sea fly-in. One thing that I took away from the Salton Sea fly-in, there was a lot of people.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we broke a record in this
So.
last one. At one point, you ever seen those videos of the deep sea divers that they swim into a swarm of jellyfish? You ever seen that? Yeah. That's what it was like on the glass off on both nights. It was insane. There was like 100. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not saying there was 100 pilots. No, there was literally 100 pilots in the air. They were everywhere you looked. And I've heard this over the years, and it's always kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah, you say that. Head on a swivel. You hear Tucker say it all the time. Hey, you gotta have a head on a swivel. Hat on a swivel. What does that really mean? Head on a swivel. Well, I want to just give you my interpretation. That means you better be paying attention where you're going, and check and clear your turns. So what does it mean to clear your turn? You're going to look before you turn. Before you yank that brake and look, because I'll tell you what happens. You ever been driving and texting? Don't raise your hand because it's illegal. And YouTube might demonetize the video because I just said that, and you might get caught. If you are texting and driving, you ever been texting and driving and you're texting and all of a sudden you lose a lane and you're like, oh, and you just put the blinker on and pretend like you were going over? Okay, that's not a good idea when you're flying a paramotor, right? And we'll take selfies. We're texting people in the air. Gringo was calling me in the air when I was using the new headset from Ryan Roberts, the PPG Smoke, whatever they're calling it,
Unity.
the Unity headset, and I'm testing things out. I'm dealing with it, and those guys were far way ahead of me, and I had really nothing to worry about. But in the back of my mind always was that there is I was flying in airspace next to Miramar, where they do
Top
they're
Gun.
flying jets. That's where Top Gun was filmed. I mean, they have Ospreys that are flying around at about 4,000 to 5,000 feet. You've got helicopters. You're in the flight path for any kind of air traffic that's going to go up and down the coast. I mean, it's insane. Go look at the aeronautical charts for that area, but head on a swivel. So same thing at the fly-in. It was insane how many people, especially in the evening. So one of the thoughts that I had was, I'm going to send it and then I'm going to go somewhere else rather than the right there where everybody's trying to launch and land. You wouldn't think, oh, it's a giant beach. It's literally like 100 football fields wide. And so there's people everywhere. But if you think about it, you need, especially if you're me and you're on an 18-meter wing and you know how to launch a paramotor, you need all the real estate that you can get to get in the air. And I don't need to have to worry about where I'm getting ready to launch into somebody. There was a couple midair collisions, right? Is that right, Josh? There was more than one.
Two. Yeah, there were two.
two midairs. One was at the Salton Sea, and I think the other one's at the Flying Circus, right?
No, they're both at Salton.
Both at Salton. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't see either one, but I saw some pictures, and I don't want to. I
Yeah.
guess if
Yeah, Maddie was there. I was right on the other side. You do have to keep your head on a swivel. I don't know if it's the 30 hours it took me driving why my neck was hurting, or there were so many people in the air and it was constantly looking over my shoulder.
yeah,
And the next morning I was like, man, am I looking that much? But I think this is a good time to talk about kind of what I was talking to you about yesterday or today, and I was talking to Todd about it. That being seen and seeing people.
oh,
We
yes.
were talking about strobes.
Yes.
We'll spend $600, $800 to $1,400 on a reserve that we may see once a year when we repack it, or maybe never, but we'll still spend that for our safety. And how many times will you look up in the air and you'll see the reflection off of somebody's helmet visor, or you'll see just a reflection. And I think for, any strobe running, we use it as a tool to fly a half hour before sunrise or a half hour after sunset. Why wouldn't we just use it all the time? That little glimpse of light could have saved possibly one or two of the midair collisions. And I don't think it's anything that we really, think about that much, other than a tool to fly a little bit longer. I think it should be something that we use all the time, if possible. And $50 to $200, you can get a good strobe.
Yeah.
At $200, it gets you a really good one.
Yep. I have something that I use for free flying that was relatively cheap. I think it was maybe $40, $35.
Sure.
And
The
it's
Firehouse
made.
ones.
Yeah, Firehouse. It's made
Sure.
for the drones.
Yeah.
And last for a long time.
Does.
But tiny little thing. I mean, it's
Right.
a little bit fatter than a dice that you would use for playing a board game, and but smashed down. And I just
Yeah.
put a little Velcro and beep right on the top of my helmet.
Yeah, even that.
Do you have a ring of lights on the hoop on
On my
your
trike, I do. I have the
Okay.
ring, and then I have the sky flare, the top center, and the two side ones. I asked the guy, we did a couple tandems in Glamis, and that's when when I took that other child of yours up, did I have the lights on?
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember. It was
Oh.
super bright out.
Not this one up here. He don't like to fly.
Yeah.
I didn't want to waste your time.
You just wanted to crash the one wheel, right?
Wow.
Oh, too
Wow.
soon.
Wow. All right, I'm leaving this. You guys are bullying me.
No,
Online bullying.
No
You're
way to
champ.
treat a guest.
no. Right, exactly. No, I do have the sky flares with the two sides and the center, and that is important to me because I have a passenger in, whether it's your child or a random person that I'm just came in for an introductory flight. I think it's very important, but why am I not using it on my own rig all the time as well? There's the boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not me.
Yeah, that's not me.
That's not you.
But yeah, so going back to the midair collisions, there's a few things that luckily both of them were non-event. Obviously, gear was damaged. They had some ego injury. I don't know if there was
Ego for sure.
Yeah, and you got, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of people flying around. Could it be avoided? Yeah, absolutely. And it's just a few things that you can do that will make the difference. And I think one of I mentioned those two, and maybe if you have more things that you want to mention, the idea of clearing the turns, not messing around with your phones or your gear too much for long periods of time. If you're driving a car, you would never do something like stare at your phone for like a solid minute.
Right.
But I can see where that would happen. I mean, I had some really nice long flights and just enjoyed butter smooth air over the water, air coming off the water. So, I don't have much details. I was going to wait to actually have this show later on, and that's why I was going to have Minyard on there tonight. But do you have more details about what happened with those midairs? Does anybody? I feel like there's at least a close encounters every year,
Yeah.
but this year there was two actual.
Two. That first one I think was another just possible lack of paying attention. I've heard that one was taking pictures of the ground, didn't see the other guy coming, and as he started to turn away, he had to lift his feet and kind of shredded a third of the wing. The pilot with the shredded wing was able to weight shift and keep control of the glider and come down and land. The other one was fine. And as for the other midair, they were two friends. People were taking pictures. They got complacent, wanted to fly around each other. One kind of did a little wing over here and there, came around, maybe had his glider loaded enough that he was okay, but it spun the other dude's glider, and he was about 15 feet off the ground and just went nose down, landed flat. Yeah. So
Did that guy get hurt?
he said, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And after some talk with, I think, one of his friends, they went to the doctor, and he showed up at Flying Circus.
No kidding.
Yeah. I didn't visually see either of them. I looked
Yeah.
over to see the one on the ground next to me, and then heard about the other one. So I can't speculate too much. I know Maddie was watching right there, and I think he even called it that it was going to happen. And 30 seconds later, it did.
Wow.
It was right on the flight line. There was a lot of traffic. You know, it's something when somebody takes pictures and they see, it's like, okay, now I have to do this. I have to go dance around here. And they knew each other. I think
Right.
just kind of got balled up, and it could have potentially landed on somebody else. Yeah, it worked out the best it could have.
That's a good point, by the way, dealing with ego and cameras. As soon as the camera comes out, it's funny when people start acting crazy. I'll put the GoPro sometimes on the Jeep, and I'll just start recording the rock and the windsock when we're free flying. And you never know what's going to happen. These people
Right.
just these guys are all fired up and right on a camera.
Uh-huh.
And obviously we want to have some fun, but also not more fun than your skill set can handle.
Sure.
Speaking of skill set, back at that video where it was Josh taking Brian on a tandem, can we acknowledge how clean that launch was? That was amazing.
I know. I can't wrap my mind around the paramotor launches. I'm sorry, trike launches or quad launches. It in my opinion, they're like that's a whole different ball game, because you're using, like, watch when it hits the air. The air hits the wing. There we go.
Yeah, it wants to mess it up, but and if you look at my hands from the time I have the A's in there to the time right when that wing gets inflated, I drop it right to about where my hands are there. I think that's a really important thing to do when you're on a trike, to really get that wing as slow as you can with the brakes on. See right here, I'll jam them down.
Yep.
Well,
keep it on the ground. And
thank you, Taven, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
So I actually had the last one I did at Flying Circus. I thought I was going to roll it because the wind was getting a little rough and the traffic was terrible. I couldn't land here, and the wind was coming at a crap distance or direction. And finally, I threaded the needle between this dude on a motorcycle and over here, and I was on 2 wheels this way, 2 wheels that way, settled down, and then it just set above my head. But I thought I was prepared for it to roll over. Corey and another buddy were there getting ready to catch me, but it was okay.
The one where you came in and somehow you lost a passenger, and
Oh.
the
Jeez. Yeah.
that was amazing.
I thought I was going to turtle that trike.
So if you have one of the trike is designed with a certain load capacity, and he was flying, Josh was ripping around by himself, and so it wants, when you come into land, if you don't do it right, it wants to lean all the way back. It's a funny picture. I'll have to show it to you sometime.
I've got it somewhere, but I don't know how to put it up here.
Yeah.
Could probably figure that out.
Yep. Yankee Paramotor said, "Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash."
That happens.
That's right. That's right.
It does.
I want to say thanks to Torrey Pines Glider Port for supporting the show. If you want to learn how to free fly in the most beautiful place in the United States, you reach out to Max Marion or any of the crew there at Torrey Pines. The website for them is flytorrey.com. They also have gear there if you want to get into free flying and you want to buy some stuff, you can get it from them. Also, the show is brought to you by Resurgence PPG. If you are interested in supporting our men and women of uniform, you can make a tax-deductible donation to resurgencepppg.com. And by donating, you're sponsoring those who have put their life on the line for our freedom. And it's a worthy cause. So reach out to Todd Scandrett, and the website again is resurgencepppg.com. I've got a have you guys, real quick, have you guys been writing down any comments? There was so far I got Tom Kubat as the winner, because we're not spinning the wheel tonight because Sean is the only one that can do it, really.
They're still stuck.
They're still stuck in Arizona.
Man,
I hope they're flying.
I should have stayed. I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah.
Much
Well,
smarter
Minyard
to
is stuck
stay.
here. Minyard's literally sleeping on my couch. He's not here right now, but
If you're flying, are you really stuck?
yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yeah, he's not stuck.
literally stuck in the snow.
That's what he keeps telling Maria. He's like, "Maria, I really want to be home, but I can't.
I'm stuck, babe.
I'm stuck here." And he keeps flying every day. He sent me a picture and he was super high today. I think he was probably like $9,000.
Wow.
Super high, specced out. Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody did have a question for Matt, but it was
Yeah, I know.
can somebody buy an engine part on the on his website?
I saw that question. I think the answer is yes, but
Was it on his website? It asked, I believe.
yeah.
I think. Let's look.
Paramotor Louisiana, right? .com.
Yep.
We talked about the cold and people, I've seen some videos, people taking off in the snow, and it's amazing. And obviously there's this big winter storm that's cutting through. My sister's got power outage in Texas and everything. But I'm curious, in the chat, who's ever watching the chat, how long it's been since you've flown. Put how many days it's been since you've flown, whether it's, a week or a month. Some people, for whatever reason, could be a motor broken, or you're waiting on parts, or job or something. But
Oh, I get where you're going with this, Gringo. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
all right.
I'm mopping up what you're spilling.
I don't. Tell me. You got to tell me.
I'm smelling what you're stepping in. You want to give away the giveaway to the person who hasn't been able to fly the longest.
Sounds like they maybe deserve it,
Yeah.
Now you can start to see 1,000 days.
Yeah. 1,000.
I've been
Never.
flown since I was 2.
I've never flown in my life.
Right here, I'm the winner.
Yeah.
In Florida, how do you not fly in 12 days in Florida? Wow.
Whoa, David Wolf said 25 days. My
Well,
gosh.
he's been moving, so I get it.
You might as well just quit.
Sell your
25
thing.
days.
It was Mike
Jeez.
Guess's last day.
January 18th. I'm gonna have to do math.
That's, 1, 2, 3.
No, that's not that
4
long ago.
weeks and 3 days.
Brutal.
Got to be honest, guys.
Randy said 5 days.
February 2nd was last flight for 49 minutes. Josh Perry.
Yep, Josh Perry.
Had I
7
not
months
gone to
take.
Salton, it would have been probably 3 months. Justin said a month and a half, 2 months, but I think he's full of it. It's been ridiculous here.
Month and a half or 2 months. Brutal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rick,
I don't-
so last down in September. What do you mean last down?
Oh, resurgence is 60 days, Todd.
Todd Scandron, it's been 60 days.
Over 60
Oh,
days.
that's
What
right.
in the world?
I think I've only flown one. I only flew one time. I did a tandem at home since we did that resurgence trip down there in Arizona. I think it's the only time. So maybe 60 days. I don't even remember when were we in there? And yeah, it's been a while up until Salt.
Wow, Jim CR120, the master of the good, great questions. He thinks he's been 21 days, and that's interesting. As a new pilot, he was newly trained, and that happens a lot when guys get trained and then they're done with their training, and sometimes if they're so new, they don't have flying buddies yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I did actually. It was a hard time trying to find some people to fly with, or even find out where the LZs are. But yeah, hope he gets back in the air soon.
My word. By the way, thank you all for your support on the show. If you want to support the show on Patreon, you can do that. There's a link in the description or on PayPal. But when you support the show, it's like price of a cup of coffee, something like that. You can learn something that might save your life, or maybe you don't even have time to watch the show and it's other people that are watching your sport. You're investing in something that might be beneficial to the flying community. And so do that. And I appreciate your investment in the show. And again, thank you for all the sponsors that support the show. You make the show possible. You guys are awesome. And this show in particular, so many people came to watch tonight. Sorry that Matt Minyard didn't make it. We tried. He is probably driving like a madman right now. He may show up to the after show. I don't know, but I guarantee he's going to be like, I feel bad, but not that bad, because I got to fly today.
Somebody in the chat said if he doesn't get to the show, then you need to charge him a late check-in fee at the hotel where he's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Will Fly donated $5 to Super Chat. Thank you, kind sir. I don't think we've met. Extend a handshake. We have to do knuckle bump.
Oh yeah.
I've been shaking people's hands, by the way. Hope this doesn't
Oh my
get
gosh.
demonetized. You just reach out and grab it, because some people are just programmed, you know. You're like, hey, how you doing? And just grab it. That's what, when I saw Josh, I
Anybody,
grabbed him.
Anybody like yank their hand back yet?
I'll grab their fist. If they try to fist bump me, I just grab the whole thing. It's horrible.
Have to call the COVID police.
Yeah.
I got some ugly
COVID police.
raptors in the chat, so we'll see you guys Saturday morning at the LZ. I think a couple guys are coming down from Orange County to fly with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be nice. It was a beautiful flight tonight. The sky was clear, probably about 55 degrees. Sunset was nice.
Yeah. Super jealous. John Wayne donated $10 to the Super Chat. Thank you, John Wayne. Appreciate that. You guys are awesome, man. Yeah, we've got some big adventures to come. I'm pretty excited. Hopefully this next year. Hello, Robert. Mom donated. Yeah, Mom, I saw that and I said thank you. You must have poor internet in Michigan. You'll have to join the after show, Mom.
Frozen internet.
Frozen.
Grandma's in
Let
Michigan
it
right now.
go. Let it go. That's the whole country right now, just frozen. Ugh.
Grandma's in
Yep.
Michigan.
There's very few times where I'm grateful to live in California, whatever you want to call it. But right now, this is the time that I feel like I'm grateful.
Yeah, there's like three places that are okay right now.
Like very bottom of Texas.
Barely.
Yeah.
Arizona,
then-
California.
Yeah, Arizona, SoCal.
A little bit of Nevada. Most of the
I heard Florida even got like frozen over a little bit.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Parts of Florida.
I don't know about you guys, but it's toasty warm now. It's 29.
You got fire on your left.
Toasty warm. I know. I think I was in the video. I was talking to myself when it's coming soon. I don't know if I'm going to edit it before the weekend, but we were flying and I was like, one of the rules about living in SoCal is that you're not allowed to ever talk about the weather unless it's somebody from SoCal. And then you're like, it was super cold. Yeah, I know, it was super bad. It was just 56 is just too cold, guys. And I told you make the mistake to say it in front of somebody from like Michigan. My brother's in Petoskey and he's like ice fishing. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it was freezing cold. And I'm like, oh, dang it. And you do it. I mean, literally the frozen police will parachute down and be like, that's not cold. So
when I left Arizona, it was like 80. When I got stuck in Grand Island, it was negative 21.
Yeah, that's
negative
insane.
21.
So you have 101
degree
temperature differential
in a day.
And we have friends that summer in Florida, and almost on a daily basis, they'll send up a text and says, I'm sitting out on my deck with my fan blowing on me.
Yeah,
my shorts and no shirt. And it's 85 degrees. I'm sweating. It's like, thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah. That's brutal. All right. Well, we are going to go to the after show. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to be a part of the after show, just drop your email in the description. We'll keep it discreet. And we're going to hang out for a little while longer. We'll see if Matt will show up. So apologize ahead of time for Matt not making it. I did not make that up. He literally is here, but in good form. He went flying first. Paraglidingtalk.com. Thank you. Thank you all the sponsors. Oh, by the way, if you want to get some AMSoil, I'm a dealer now. Look out, folks.
Oh boy.
I don't know what that means, but
right.
I get it for cheap, and that's all that matters for me. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. You guys are awesome. Let's look forward to next week. We will have a great episode. If I don't see you on the air, I'll see you in there. And thank you guys for all that you do. Bob Garber, Craig Couch, Josh Bowden, Anthony Peregringo, not Matt Minyard Tabin. Thank you. And we'll see